We have 7 board members present. I think we can go ahead and get the meeting started. We do not have quorum, but we can call the meeting to order. Okay, first item of business is the filling of vacancies on the board, Subdistrict 2, Windward Mall. Is there anyone interested in filling that seat? If you are, you should be a registered voter in Subdistrict 2 around the Windward Mall area, and Spencer can verify your registration. If not, no one else. I'd like to also remind everyone that the neighborhood board elections are coming up April 25th, next Friday. That's the first day of election, so you should be getting your notification in the mail. And the election goes through May 16th, and it's all voting online through that mailer. Okay, if nothing further, let's go on agenda item number 3, city and state monthly reports and discussion. First up is Honolulu Fire Department.
Good evening. My name is Jacob Char. I'm with the Kāne Fire Station, representing Honolulu Fire Department. All right, the statistics provided below represent confirmed number of incidents in the neighborhood board's geographical area for the previous month. For details on the incidents and related mapping information, please visit Fire Response Map on our HFD website at fire.honolulu.gov under the News and Info tab. Should you have any questions, please email the HFD's Public Affairs and Media Liaison at hfdnhb@honolulu.gov. First block, information previously requested, we have nothing. Incidents for March 2025 under the fires category. Structures, we have 0. Wildland and brush, we have 0. Nuisance, which are fires include rubbish fires outside of a structure or vehicle, we have 0. Cooking, we have 0. Activated alarms with no fire, we have 4. Emergencies, medicals, we have 120. Motor vehicle collisions with pedestrians, we have 0. Motor vehicle crash or collisions, we have 6. Mountain rescues, we have 1. Ocean rescues, we have 0. Hazardous materials incidents, we have 1. Fire safety tips and announcements, April 2020 safety tips and evacuation planning. Ensure you have an emergency preparedness plan in place for situations like environmental emergencies, fires, or natural disasters. Familiarize yourself with at least 2 escape routes from your home and plan an evacuation path if you must leave your neighborhood due to emergency. For information, visit fire.honolulu.gov. Some bullet points: leave early to avoid getting trapped by fire, smoke, or traffic delays. Set up predetermined meeting spots like a trusted neighbor or relative's home, a low-risk area, a shelter, or evacuation center. And lastly, bring your emergency supply kit with essential items. Questions?
All right, any questions for the fire department? Just comment, I guess, the stats sound pretty good except for the 17 collisions or vehicle collisions. So is that reflective of improvements then?
I'm not too sure about him. I guess that'll be under like a DOT and stuff like that. But it seems kind of high for the monthly average.
Okay, thank you. If there are other questions, on to the next agenda item, Honolulu Police Department.
Good evening. I'm Officer Jared Atkins with District 4 Community Policing Team. We also have Lieutenant Sanford Yu online. He's the Night Watch Commander. I have the crime stats for Kāne for March 2025. For motor vehicle thefts, there were 3 motor vehicle thefts versus 2 previous month. Burglaries, there were 2 versus 10 the previous month. For thefts, there was 20 versus 19 the previous month. For car break-ins or UMVs, there were 7 in March versus 4 the previous month. And for robberies, there were 0 in March versus 0 the previous month. And I can take any questions or concerns from the community.
Any questions or concerns for Honolulu Police Department? Dale, go ahead.
Yes, I was wondering if it had occurred with the elderly lady that was in her car and somebody accosted her for a couple of days.
Yeah, so that male was arrested for robbery. I'm not sure exact. I think the bail may have been $75,000 or something. So he was charged reinvestigated the case, and it was sent to the prosecutors, and they charged him for it. So I don't know if he's still currently waiting trial or he bailed out, but yes, he was charged for robbery first.
Hi, Greg.
One question, asked this last week, or excuse me, last month. If you could provide the numbers on, or the areas where in Kaneohe that has, the hotspots for traffic accidents. And this was in regards to the fact that there's a lot of this red light cameras and speeding cameras coming up. But I was curious where our actual.
Okay, yeah, I'll look that up and I'll present that next month. I'll see if there's any actual hotspots or not.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, David. Yeah, I just have a comment. Thanks for your response. I think some of us in the community were tracking the Windward Mall incident with the teens. And I think HPD was able to respond to that. So I appreciate your assistance with that. Oh, Donald, you have something else?
Yeah, John, thank you, Chair. Thank you, Officer Lieutenant Donald Saka, I'm board member. I have issues concerning Kauipa Street. Now they put this bike lane. So have you seen a increase of injuries or speeding, more speeding or less speeding with the bike lanes installed on Kauipa?
Sorry, the question is, have we seen more accidents because of
Yeah.
a bike lane on Kauhipa?
Yeah, if there's there's bike lanes now, so it's a lot more people have to be aware when they come up from driveways of people in the bike lane, as well as the cars coming down, going up. Have you seen anything recently?
Not that I know of. I mean, there's so many accidents occur every day that it's hard to keep track, but I'll have to look that up. I'll try to look that up and see if there's any kind of increase or not.
Kudos for you guys on H3. And I noticed the noise level has gone down for the monster car, hot rod cars. Still some motorcycles, but kudos.
Yeah, we're still conducting weekly enforcement and they're getting numerous excessive speeding and speeding citations. So they're still out there conducting enforcement and still getting lots of citations.
Thank you.
Yep.
Hi, good evening. Hi, good evening, Chair Rep, Chair Hicks, the members of the board. My name is Lena Gano. I'm here from the Department of Transportation. I'm here with Diane Ako. I wanted to start with the motor vehicle fatalities for the city and county of Honolulu. As of this past Wednesday, there were 20. Of the 22 were motor vehicle occupants, 9 were pedestrians, including 1 houseless person. 5 motorcycles, 1 moped, 5 motorcycles and 1 scooter, and 3 bicyclists, including an e-bicyclist. Just want to remind everyone to please obey all traffic laws, including speeding and not driving while impaired or while distracted. Right now, I wanted to report on the questions that were given to me by Chair Radke. I'm sorry, I called you Hicks earlier. Chair Radke. Thank you very much. Let's see. Wanted a status update on the noise camera installation on H3. Is there a plan to install? HDOT is finalizing a contract with a vendor for the noise detection program. Once the contract is finalized, the program is anticipated to launch within the next 6 months. Current plans call for one of the noise cameras to be installed on H3. Speed cameras are not planned for the H3 as the current law limits placement of the speed enforcement camera to where red light safety cameras have already been installed. The speed enforcement and red light safety cameras are currently installed at 10 downtown Honolulu intersections. And those are Vineyard Boulevard and Palama Street, Vineyard Boulevard and Liliha Street, Vineyard Boulevard and Nu'uanu Avenue, Pali Highway and Vineyard Boulevard, Pali Highway and North School Street, Likelike Highway and North School Street, Ward Avenue and South King Street, Kapiolani Boulevard and Kamakee Street, South Beretania Street and P. Coy Street, and McCully Street and Aljaroba Street. I know that's a mouthful, but if you go to the Hawaii DOT website, we do have a section for the red light safety cameras with a map as well as the locations and statistics for the program. Status update on the scenic lookouts at H3 and Kaneohe Bay Drive. Have there been any enhancements to prevent gatherings after hours? DOT has confirmed with HPD that officers close the lookout gates at night and open them in the morning. HDOT also recently sent crews out to Kaneohe Bay Drive lookout to clean up the trash and will send out a crew weekly. Regarding the metal plates on H3, is there work completion and removal date? The steel plates were placed at that location on the H3 to cover damaged expansion joints. HDOT is working to schedule the replacement of the expansion joints. In the interim, we will be replacing the larger steel plates with smaller ones and repairing the steel plate weld starting this Saturday, April 19th from 2:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. in one lane heading toward Kaneohe. Work will be done on the subsequent Saturdays at the same time to replace the larger plates. And finally, discussion on Po'okele Street has a parking restriction which prevents the church from parking on the street during Friday night services to deter haiku stairs trespassing, I presume. The HDOT will adjust the parking restriction time near Anchor Church to 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. to accommodate the staff and community members who park on Po'okele Street during Friday evening services. HDOT will fabricate new signs to reflect the adjusted no parking hours. We estimate the new signs can be fabricated and installed in about 2 months. And I believe that answers all of the questions that were emailed to me.
Thank you very much. That's a great report. Donald, go ahead.
Yeah, Lee, this is Don Sakamoto. Thank you for the report. Regarding the placements of the cameras, Chair Raki mentioned this, the speeding is done mostly from where the lookout going westbound all the way back to Kamehameha Highway, that long stretch. There's a lot of motorcycles, hot rods that like to race over there. I had some video footage somebody in the neighborhood gave me. I passed it on to the city, the state, Robin Shishido. So that's an issue that probably would be best to put the cameras there to monitor that. And getting to the scenic lookout, thank you for cleaning it up, but my friend that goes there once in a while to check the lookout when there's trash. There's no trash cans. There can be some trash cans. And if the vegetation for the lookout can be cut, I don't know if it's been cut yet. Trees, vegetation blocking the view of the sandbar and the rest of the bay. So, but the gates do help, I would say, for big vehicles, but motorcycles too can go around the gate on the side entrance, according to some police officers I talked to that noticed they can go through that way. And then finally, the plates. Is this a structure or integrity that something has shifted underneath? So that's why it's been damaged. That's why you put the plates for temporary and doing the repairs right now. Thank you.
I noted. Thank you.
Okay, I do see that hand, but Board Member Kim has her hand up. Go ahead, Kim.
Thank you, and thank you, Ms. Nagano. Last May, there was quite a bit of flooding along Kaneohe Bay Drive beneath the H3 lookout and Yacht Club Knolls. At the time, we asked if there was any slippage on the H3 and were told that there was a topographical survey planned. Can you give us any update on that?
Hi, thank you for the question. I'll check on the topographical survey, but I believe the survey was done and I presented the results to Chair Radke a few months ago. I don't remember what the results were. but I'll go look for it again and send it to Chair.
Oh, okay. We did get a brief summary, but there was not a lot of substance to it. I wonder if we could get more of, where did you look and how do you know for sure and that kind of stuff.
Okay, I'll follow up with the engineers.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. A member of the audience, you have a question? Okay, appreciate your comment. Take that. I appreciate your comment. Let's go on. Thank you. Mr. Piano.
One more question
Go ahead.
for DOT. Are they still on, DOT?
All right, go ahead, Dave.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, just question. I know that one of the items is for the traffic light, the speeding light at the Like. While technically not in our district, those from this side definitely use that, go through that, transverse through that intersection. There's been a lot of reports online about the really high number, the extremely high number of vehicles that are flagged through that one. And I guess my question is just, is it being considered? It's an interesting situation because it goes from 35 to 25 right by the stoplight, then 35 again. So I was just curious if it's being considered to maybe up that speed limit a few, miles per hour because of that.
I will check with the engineers and get back to the board, the commission.
Okay, thank you.
Right, thank Mr. Piano for your thorough report and responsiveness. Really appreciate the adjustment to the parking restrictions. We'll let the residents know about that. All right, anything
Thank you,
else?
Chair.
Okay, let's go on to Marine Corps Base Hawaii.
Good evening, board, members of the community. My name is Christy Kalogiva, Marine Corps Base, Hawaii. Just a few updates and reminders for some upcoming events that we have for the remainder of the year. We have 2 open base events. Our largest one obviously is our air show that we're excited about, August 8th, 9th, and 10th. And then we will be hosting the Okra Canoe Regatta, which is Hui Nalu's Regatta, on July 13th. Both of those events are open base for the public to come and observe. What we'd like to focus on today is any follow-up questions that we have from our water reclamation EA. And I have with me this evening that I'd like to introduce you to Patrick. He is our senior environmental engineer. And if there are any other questions that we have from a follow-up from last month, we would like to give that opportunity. And we brought more brochures that we have some on the table over here for the community to take home. We want to follow up with the QR codes that make it very easy and quick to access the EA. The final closing will be May 8th to submit any comments. And I'd like to turn it over to Patrick.
Hello, my name is Patrick Royal. I'm the lead engineer, lead environmental engineer for the base, and just want to reiterate for this project, what we're looking for is, as much public participation as we can get. If you love the project, some comments in. If you hate the project, or if there's parts you're concerned in, put comments in. This is the draft environmental assessment. This is the opportunity for the community, the board to participate and weigh in. And like Christy said, that comment period closes May 8th, and then we'll work towards final environmental assessment after that. Just a reminder, this project is building a whole new treatment system. Current treatment plant will stay there. This will be a redundant system. It'll give us more capacity to treat during major storms like we had today. And it'll also upgrade our level of treatment from a secondary treatment to a tertiary treatment, which means we move on to disinfection, bringing those like Intero and coliform numbers down. And then finally, the other big component is it'll be able to produce R1 quality recycled water, which will then in turn use to water the golf course on the base. So that reduces our output through the outfall in Kailua Bay. It reduces our dependence on potable water, and it increases our recycled water usage on beach. But any technical questions, happy to take them now or stick around or whatever you have.
Got a question from Donald? Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Thank you for your second presentation here. Question on the facility. Where is it located and is it susceptible to natural disasters like a tsunami and hurricanes?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the facility is when you're headed onto the base, it's kind of right there, hiding behind the trees, right along the bay, right next to the marina. And this design is being designed to tsunami standards for this this treatment train. This whole process will meet the tsunami standards.
All right, we have a question from Kim. Go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, I had a question about this before, but I wonder if you could just be a little more specific. The water that you're reclaiming is going to be like golf course irrigation, the plane washing station, and housing and commercial activities? All of those or no?
No, so the current plan is only to use recycled water or that reclaimed water or the irrigating on the golf course. So we'll be able to treat up, basically the plant is designed to treat up to 2 million gallons a day. We'll be able to treat all of that water to R1 quality standards. There'll be 2 huge tanks for storing it, right? The immediate use will be used on the golf course, which has about a 1 million gallon per day demand. So that leaves an extra 1 million gallons. Currently, there's no plans for that, but follow-on study will look at where else on base can we do that? Are there other places where we irrigate? Is there fire suppression? There's other things that the Department of Health says that R1 water quality can be used for. So that's going to be like the follow-on studies to decide how else we can reduce what's going to our outfall.
Okay, I understand about the R1 water. What I'm trying to get at is where is the water being recycled from? Is it more than just the golf course irrigation? Are you recycling the water that you use for cleaning the airplanes or water that's used in, for washing machines and sewage collected from houses? That's
Got
what
it.
my,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry. So the question is, water, the wastewater treatment plant treats all wastewater generated on base. So that's base housing, flushing toilets, that's airplane washing stations, that's everything that goes into the sewer. The only thing that does not go to the sanitary wastewater treatment plant is the stormwater. So we have a separate storm sewer system, so that goes out through separate outlets.
Okay, thank you very much.
Great. Any other questions for Marine Corps Base Hawaii? If not, thank you very much for the update.
Cool. And I'll stick around. I'll be in the back if anybody has questions that come up later. Feel free to grab me afterwards.
All right, next on the agenda item is Windward Community College. They're usually at the end, but it's a representative for Windward Community College here. Are you from Windward Community College? You have an update for the college? Do you have an update from the school? Do you have an update from the school? Or from the community college? I don't think we'll go on here. Okay. All right. We do not have any board briefs for today, so resident and community concerns are next. Residents have 3 minutes to speak, so if you have any concerns, please approach the mic and address your concerns. We do have 2 items on the agenda, I think, that have been actually addressed. So any residents who would like to speak, please approach the podium and with the mic. Please, he's got a mic up there. Please also state your name and please state your name before you begin.
Got it?
Yes.
Right. Oh, cool. My name is Kanapokueali. Good evening, all. And as I said, my name is Ka'anapokue'ali'i. I am not Ka'anapokue'ali'i. I am here to speak for my tutu Kāne, which is my grandfather, Kue'ali'i, and all the kapunas that have come before us. Right now, they must be turning in their graves at what is happening in Hawaii and in the legislature. In the last election, one of the incumbents lost. That's okay. He lost his $130,000 job, but the good old boy network in the legislature gave him another job, maybe for $75,000. He's going to have a hard time living on that one. You cannot tell me that in the regular civilian world, there was not one other person that was as qualified as the person that got the job without or anything. So what happens? The network, that's what happens. And I also want to address Senator Alva. Where is Senator Alva? Is Senator Alva here? Nope. Okay, I called 3 weeks ago and made 3 requests of his office. No response. Called today, also made the same request, and the person that spoke to me wanted to know what districts, what street, whatever. These are state laws that I requested copies of. Why would he ask me what street? If it's a state law, it pertains to all streets. At least I think they do. Okay, also, I voted for Alva when he ran for office the first time, primarily because he stood on Ham Highway with a bloody sign that said term limits. Now, he's been in office once, and he's on his second term. I wondered, how is his legislation going for term limits? Probably not, because they wouldn't vote for term limits. I would suggest that the next constitutional convention, that proposal is put on. That way, if everyone wants it, it becomes law. Okay.
Sir, do you have a
I'm sorry?
community concern? Do you have a community concern for the neighborhood of?
Oh,
Kāne?
I only have X number of minutes.
You have 3 minutes and it's almost up.
Okay. All right. Mahalo.
Great, thank you. Is there any other community concern out there?
To the members of the neighborhood board and to the elected officials and their staff and to all of you. My name is Rosie Gu. I'm from a neighborhood in Kaneohe that is dealing with a land use and water use issue that we've brought here before. And I'm just going to share again. We continue to be on appeal to the Zoning Board of Appeals for a modification of a conditional use permit major for a 2-story, 24-unit commercial group living facility. The modification is a minor modification. So the gentleman who applied for the modification increased the size of the facility so that construction-wise, it would cost $7 million more to build it, be approximately 6,000 square feet larger than the original facility, but still the Department of Planning and Permitting advanced it as a minor modification, not subject to public hearing and the requirements of a regular conditional use permit major. What I shared
Can you,
today,
can you tell me what the location of that is?
44-667 Kaneohe Bay Drive. We already have existing adverse stormwater issues, flooding, hillside development that wasn't even contemplated in the 60s when our particular neighborhood became part of the state and the city's plans for managing storm and surface water. So we had flooding in May, just like down from Yacht Club Knolls, water on the Bay Drive, and dirt and debris pouring through yards from across the Bay Drive into our neighborhood, into the water channel, into the bay. So I guess really one thing I'd like to get across to everyone is that there's been so much planning on the county and the state level. State has a Kaneohe Bay master plan. It has a budget. It still has a Kaneohe Bay Regional Council that is not focused on water quality being a function of land use, which was a major part of the Kaneohe Bay master plan and the task force work. In addition, the county has the Oahu General Plan that says development should be directed to central Oahu. It has by mandate and the force of law, the Ko'olaupoku Sustainable Communities Plan that says in 2017, when it was updated, no new sewer hookups. The county also has, the Board of Water Supply has a general plan, and all of the data, Ko'olaupoku, which I think all of us can agree Ko'olaupoku deserves to be protected. The Board of Water Supply is basing all of its plans on the fact that there is no development in Ko'olaupoku until 2040. And we all know if you just look around your neighborhoods, you're going to be able to identify something that came online after 2012, certainly before 2040. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, why are we amending the land use ordinance to give the director of the Department of Planning and Permitting more discretion to bring more development online if DPP isn't already following it's supposed to bring balanced?
Okay, I think you've done 3 minutes. I don't want to cut, you have some good points there. But I guess if there are any board members have any comments, we've had this issue before come up. And is there any comments from the board members for that?
If I could just ask one question, I know I went over my time.
Can you do it in 5 seconds?
Sure. We'd like to float some resolutions, draft resolutions that are neutral on its face.
Okay. So if you want resolutions, you can bring it to us. We can consider resolutions. I think this is probably an issue for the city council to address also. And we'll have a council member. I think we have a council member rep later on. So thank you for your comments. Okay, another resident concern?
Each of the board committees with this fall stormwater.
Sorry, is that better?
Which of your committees would this fall under? Would it be environmental?
It could be a number of them. There is a planning committee, which I am on. And
We would ask that you guys would identify a committee that we could see this addressed in. The overall concern is safety and stormwater runoff.
okay.
And just let us know.
Did you leave your name for us to contact you? If you could put it on the sign-in sheet too, and leave your
I am.
email address too.
My name's Sean O'Connor.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Other concern here? Go ahead.
Aloha, Vice Chair Lam and board members. Good evening. My name is Kathy Takakua, and I live in Waikoloa, Kaneohe, on Holowai Place. So back in February, I raised an issue that's concerning my neighborhood, which is the possible development of a parcel of land at the end of our dead end. And so tonight I just wanted to give some updates. So on March 21st, at the suggestion of the board, neighbors and I sent a letter to the property owner, Dragon Pacific Investment, seeking assurances that they are planning to maintain the parcel as an open space. So we sent that. We've yet to receive a response. However, this past Tuesday, Chair Radke kindly forwarded an email that he'd received from Mr. Roy Eide, who represented the owners of the Bayview Golf Course, in which Mr. Eide stated, "I would like to assure you on behalf of the owners that there are no plans to develop a housing project in that area. The owners are currently focused on the golf operations and have intentions of being good neighbors. They are committed to maintaining good relationships within the community." So that brought us some. We responded to the email and invited Mr. Eide to attend the next board meeting, this meeting. So although he was unable to be here tonight due to short notice, he promised that he will attend the May board meeting. In the spirit of transparency and trust building, we requested that at that meeting, he present during community concerns, and in addition to stating the golf course's good intentions, that he explain first the relationship between Bayview Golf Course and Dragon Pacific Investment, and second, any future perhaps joint plans for the Holowai Place property. So our wondering is that we appreciate the goodwill he's extending, but our understanding is that the golf course doesn't own that property. And so we really would like to hear either what their relationship is and or to hear directly from the owners. And then as far as the joint plans go, we are wondering, are they going to reestablish, rebuild the bridge? And then is the landowner going to be reestablishing golf hole? Tomorrow, we have a letter we're going to send, a second letter to Dragon Pacific Investment. And we're going to also invite them to attend the board meeting. And just as we've asked the golf course, requested them to likewise present and address our concerns and questions during the community concerns part of this meeting. So that's all. Are there any questions?
I do have a question. Thanks for the update. It's very good. And I believe there are like seven parcels that Dragon Pacific owns. Are you opposed to them reestablishing the hole? I know they shifted the fifth hole so I'd like to see the bridge rebuilt and using the fifth hole again.
That would leave it an open space, so we wouldn't be opposed to that.
Any other questions?
I just have a question. Have you copied and addressed this with Councilperson Kāne?
Oh, we haven't. I've been copying chair, but I haven't copied council member.
I definitely think that would be advisable to do.
Okay, we can do that. We appreciate the guidance the board has given us.
And just one more comment. Just wanted, I said this last time, appreciate the way you guys have handled this, gone through the proper channels, done the research and invited them to the board meeting. So I just want to compliment you on that.
Great, thank you. Any other community concerns? Thank you for all for speaking up and raising your issues. Let's go on to the next agenda item for elected officials. We have 2 minutes for formal comments and then question and answers, but we'll go with the representative's U.S. Representative Jill Takuda's office first. Is there a representative? But Donald, did you said you had an email that came from the representative's office? Takuda's office. Okay. There's an update that's been sent out in email. We can make it available and then have that update there. Next is the Governor Green's representative. Is the governor's representative to speak?
Hi. I don't know what is this item A, you put update to smart state plans. I don't know if I have that. So hello, I'm Diane Occo and I'm the state's representative. I have the link to the latest Governor Green's monthly newsletter, Kiala Ho. I gave it to the board and I think you guys posted online, right? Vice Chair? And also if you
Yes,
wanted to
it has.
sign up.
Right.
Thank you, sir. And then if people wanted to sign up, if you haven't already, you can go to governor.hawaii.gov/newsletter/. Lee Nagano co-presented the DOT update, so thanks, Lee. I found some other interesting tidbits I thought might be of interest to this community. So State Wildlife Action Plan, the Hawaii Department of Land and Natural Resources invites the public to review the 2025 State Wildlife Action Plan, or SWAP, and share your thoughts. There are 2 public reviews coming up on Zoom. They're both on Tuesday, April 29th. There's a morning session from 10 to 11 and an evening from 5 to 6. And I've handed over the Zoom meeting link and ID to the board as well. And there's also a link if you want more information, storymaps.arcgis.com. It's kind of a long link. So again, I would refer to the board's website. And then lastly, little fire ants, the Hawaii Department of Agriculture has opened a free treatment program for little fire ant infestations on residential properties on Oahu. And there's a link for more on how to sign up through the Hawaii Department of Ag's website. That is my update.
Great. Thank you very much for the update. Questions, Mr. Sakamoto?
Yeah, Sakamoto here. Thank you for that. Smart State, Governor Green, I believe in 2023, went to New York to speak at the United Nations and talked about this issue. By going green by 2035, have electric buses. He made a speech at the Pacific Club in 2022 for electric buses for the kids in school buses. And to go green, and that didn't praise through, I guess, because of the Maui fire, but it's supposed to make the state more efficient by going and being like this. So it gives a better for the environment, going green. And of course, Governor Green is green. Yeah, is the name. But yes, that's the reason why, I was brought it up, because that's a very important thing for us to be self-efficient with fossil fuel and whatnot. But that's the reason why I was wondering what's happening, because the city has bought electric buses in their fleet, but the state hasn't really pursued more in electrical vehicles, especially for the school bus for our kids. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll follow up with you at the next meeting as to the status of his
Plan.
green initiative.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Diane. Next is the mayor's representative. Is there a mayor's representative here?
Aloha, good evening. I'm Andy Kawano, Director of Budget and Fiscal Services, City and County of Honolulu. With regard to the budget, Yesterday, we went through the second reading of the city's operating and capital improvement program budgets. We have I think it's going to be a very full Committee on Budget meeting on Tuesday, April 29th, 9 a.m. Two key measures we're going to talk about are the empty homes tax program and the Bill 60, which involves the sewer fee increase, sewer charge increase bill to be able to catch up with our sewer and sewer facility, obligations as we approach the consent decree year of 2035. So there's going to be more discussion on that at the Committee on Budget meeting on the 29th of April, 9 a.m. With regard to some issues that were brought up last time, I have some updates. With regard to Anti-Rocky raising issues of a route security guard at Fualoa Beach Park, and negative activities occurring after that, and conflict between a resident and the security personnel. The park staff was contacted, and we have been informed that the private security company that staffs Fualoa Park was informed of the situation. And we understand that the security guard that was misbehaving was removed from the park to be trained and to receive more personnel guidance and training on how to behave in situations where there's conflict. The security company will act on these kinds of issues that come up in the future, and we appreciate being updated about the situation. So keep us updated if more of that happens. We're hoping that the guards are much better behaved and better at their service, in that park. It was brought up that there were issues with certificates of occupancy with regard to care homes in the Kāne area. This actually was also brought up by Chair Radke by written email to the Department of Planning and Permitting Director, Don Takeuchi Apuna. Director Apuna is working on a response to Chair Radke. She plans to send a response in email shortly. So the board should be receiving that information shortly. There was another issue brought up with regard to the ongoing delay, I would say, in complete streets for Pikia Road, Kamehameha Highway. We notified Renee Espial, who has testified here in the past, and she was tied up this month, but plans to attend the May meeting to provide an updated report on complete streets for Kamehameha Highway related to the portion that the city owns and controls. Lastly, there was an inquiry on Kaneohe Stream. If I got it right, the status was, what are the big pipes being installed in parts of the stream bed? We were informed that if the reference is to the Waikalua fish pond area of the stream, a company named Pacific American Foundation Hawaii Inc. Obtained a right of entry from the city as a part of a sewer line, water line, utility replacement project. That's what's going on there. And that's it for my report. I'll take questions.
Thank you for the very good report and for your responsiveness to these concerns we had from last month. Any questions from the board members? Mr. Sakamoto.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Andy, for your report. regarding Bill 60, I did testify on that day, and it's very hard for people who are disabled or component people on fixed income to pay that outrageous sewer rates. But hopefully, the council and the administration can find some common cause to not impact our residents here. I'm worried. Other people are worried. And then, the first bill that you talked about the
Empty homes tax,
empty homes. What is the bill number?
Bill 46.
46. I understand that there was a settlement in California saying that there was some legal action that was override by the courts. Is that also being looked at in this situation?
I wasn't aware of a Southern California governmental entity, but I know that City of San Francisco
Yes.
is going through litigation, and to my knowledge, that one's not resolved yet. But we are looking at those situations. And the issue relates to the constitutionality of such a tax, calling it a public taking of property.
Right.
So we're aware of that, and I think that's why the current council team that are advocates for the bill have added a number of exemptions. I believe there are 16 exemptions. So essentially, if this bill is passed, it would go into effect in the 2028 fiscal year. Notices, we would do public notices of the upcoming tax, do town halls to talk about it so that the public's aware of, the requirement that all property owners file declarations. Everyone's going to have to file a declaration.
Right.
And hopefully homeowners that qualify file it on time so they're exempt from the tax.
Okay. Yeah, I remember you was cautioning the council about that because you want to see what the settlement was all. But regarding the community concerns, I did put down Kauhipa Street. There's bike lanes put in recently. It's a busy street, and people are trying to come out from their driveways and live over there, contending with the high-speed cars going up and down. Now they have bikes, and it's very busy for kids or on their regular bikes or grown-ups. Makes it dangerous when people are trying to come out from City Mill or whatever. And there's also traffic going up and down at high speeds. Can you check with the Department of Transportation Services why it was put in, and what's their input from the community to hear these concerns of bike lanes? This was just put in over like overnight or something like that. So there's a concern that a resident brought it up to my attention. And thank you for the mayor to come out on May 8th, right?
Yes.
At Castle High School.
Yes. There's going to be a town hall for the windward side at Castle High School.
Okay. I look forward to that and seeing you over there and hearing the other directors too with the mayor. Thank you.
Oh, go ahead, Dale.
Thank you. Andy, as always, thank you very much for your presentations. They're quite informative. The question I had is a little over a year ago, presented to the board, there was a pending tax that would come into place for gray water and rainwater runoff on our properties, and it was delayed. Is there any update on what the timeline of that will be, and or does this fall under the sewer bill increase? And will they be linked together?
You're talking about the measure for the stormwater facility and stormwater fee. That measure is separate from the sewer bill. And knowing that there is sensitivity about increases in costs, the implementation of the facility and the fee related to it had been deferred and is still in deferred status. We are talking about it internally and discussing how we should go about communicating such to the public and how to address affordability, with regard to more added fees. So there's still a lot of work that we have to do on our end. But as of right now, it's in deferred status. And we're going to assess, what happens with regard to the sewer charge fee increase before moving on with the stormwater fee. The concern that, from what I understand, because this started way before, I joined the city, the concern is that if there is continued substantial runoff into the ocean, there is a risk that the EPA again may, investigate and impose another consent decree type, penalty upon the county, and we want to avoid that as much as possible. So that's why this stormwater facility discussion started, prior to 2020. And I think the initial study was completed in 2020. We saw some of the results when we came on board in 2021, but because of COVID first, the water fee increase, and now the sewer charge increase in front of us, we've deferred the facility. But it's something that we're going to have to address soon.
Thank you, Andy.
Great, thank you, Andy. We'll go on with the council member, representative.
Hi, my name is Chastity Santiago. I'm here representing the office of Councilmember Kiaina. I just wanted to give my updates for Ho'omalahia. Ho'omalahia catch and release fishing returns on Wednesday, May 7th. I'll go ahead and I'll drop the website for Departments of Park and Recreation. All reservations will be via online and you can book 2 weeks in advance. Also, I do have a landfill update. Councilmember Kiaina continues to work with community leaders on learning more about the proposed windward landfill site in the event that Wahiwa is taken off the table. As a follow-up to her site visits in February with the community, on March 21st, she visited the South and North Quarry sites with Chair Tommy Waters. The quarry is a major supplier of cement for Oahu's construction industry. She hopes to take the city's Department of Environmental Services director to the site with community leaders as well. H&L Alert is a new mass notification system that allows residents and visitors to sign up for updates about severe weather, emergencies, and other important community news via text, push notification, or email. This system is going to be replacing the city's current HNL.info alerts. There are 2 ways to opt into the system. You create an account with member Everbridge or text HNL to 888-777. And then again, I'll go ahead and I'll drop that information in the chat as well. And then lastly, as Donald and Director Kawano mentioned, there will be Mayor's Town Hall for the Windward side on May 8th at 6:30 p.m. at Castle High School cafeteria. And this will give the public a chance to ask Mayor's cabinet members questions face to face. And that concludes my report for Councilmember Kiaina.
Questions for the council member? Thanks for the report. Hey, Donald, go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Jesse. This is Donald Sakamoto. Thank you for Councilmember Kiaina for doing a good job for our community on the Windward side. Besides the town hall meetings by the mayor, is Councilmember Kiaina going to do like a town meeting, either virtually or in person, just to get outreach to the community besides the neighborhood board?
Donald, that I don't know about, but I can definitely take that question back for her and I'll get back to you.
Yeah, thank you.
No further questions. Thank you, Chrissy. We'll go on to our state representatives. We'll have each representatives and senators give their briefs and then have questions answered after they're done. So the first up is Senator Jarrett Keaokole's office, or if he's online. Thanks, Senator. Go ahead.
Yeah, Chair, members of the board, members of the community, aloha. We are in the conference committee process right now at the legislature. We adjourn the first Friday in May, so in 2 weeks. I have been working with our representative Matayoshi, who is my counterpart chair in the House on commerce and consumer protection issues. Two primary, I think the two biggest issues we're working on at the moment are a measure to address stabilize the insurance industry in Hawaii, specifically the hurricane insurance issue for residents that are living in condominiums, especially older condominiums. That's Senate Bill 1044. And there's also a bill SB 897 relating to Hawaiian Electric Company, which is a request by the electric company for state support, including capping liability for future wildfire occurrences that might be caused by Hawaiian Electric. I have some real concerns with that measure. We're trying to figure out the right way to provide support to the utility so that they do not fall into bankruptcy, while also making sure that we hold them accountable and that they are doing what's necessary to, you know, provide service at the lowest cost possible to ratepayers, and managing the company in the most effective way, given the challenging situation they're in after Lahaina. There's also a measure that the state is that funds the state's commitment to the settlement of the Maui wildfire lawsuits, HB 1001, and budget negotiations are underway. It's a very strained situation from a budgetary standpoint because we are anticipating a continuing stream of federal cuts to state services that were funded through federal grants or through other sources of federal funding. We are hoping and confident that transportation funding will not be included in potential cuts, but healthcare programs like Medicaid, we are expecting to be impacted. We just don't know when. So those are some of the continuing discussions we have going. It's very difficult to budget for potential cuts that are uncertain size and at what point. We don't have any certainty on when to expect them. So those are the main issues that I'm focused on at the legislative level right now, and we'll have lots more to report at the May meeting. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Senator. Let's go with next with Senator Awa. Is there a representative from his office?
Hello, Maikako. With Senator Awa's office. A couple quick updates. We have SB 1582, which recognizes the coconut tree for its cultural significance, as well as being a food source. I'm hoping that this will open up more opportunities for funding and the combat of CRB and planting initiatives. Currently, coconut trees are allowed to be sprayed with chemicals to combat the CRB. We are not in support of this type of practice, so we hope that with this, hoping that SB 1582 makes it through to the governor and will allow to put more emphasis on the coconut tree being a food source and protecting that source. We also are in the works with collaborating with EM Hawaii, which focuses on effective microorganisms. We are in talks with some of the local schools in the district to see and create a plan to plan a project that will incorporate the concept of Genki balls that are currently being utilized in the Alawai, but have it be utilized within our schools, that we can and help bring some mitigation to some of our water issues currently, and also may not be as significant in Kaneohe like other parts of District 23, but it's another opportunity that we're looking into because of it being organic and also being it not is not financially burdening on our community members. So it's an option that we're looking into and hope to report more to you folks within the coming months as we kind of get more of this project going. Mahalo.
Great, thank you, Kāne. We had a notice from Representative Kitagawa's office that she's at the Kahaluu honoring the principal, Kahaluu Elementary principals winning an award. So her staff are out there and not be able to attend. So I don't think there's anyone representing her here. Representative Matayoshi's office, we have a representative to give a report.
Aloha, everyone. Okay. Aloha, my name is Shana Kukila. I am here for Representative Matayoshi. I am his legislative researcher. And I also am an alumni of WCC, so it's good to be here. Aloha to everyone, and Representative Matayoshi sends his fondest aloha to all of you. Community updates. The Kaneohe Public Library is still set to reopen this summer. Till then, the temporary location at Windward Mall will remain open near Ross and Fun Factory. As mentioned earlier, Ho'omalahia Botanical Gardens, Lake Waimalohia is open again for catch and release fishing. You can secure a fishing reservation permit via the Department of Parks and Recreation's website. We also have an e-waste drive next month, looking for volunteers that can lift at least 15 pounds and are okay with standing in the hot sun for a few hours. Contact Rep. Matayoshi's office if you're interested. As Representative Senator Keohokalole mentioned, we are going into conference right now. And there are several surviving bills. One of them, the workers' compensation bill, also a vocational rehab bill, and a Delta THC ban, which is actually now a hemp ban bill. And that is for hemp products that are being sold in stores and are not being regulated currently. And also there are two fireworks bills. I have them on the table here with, if anybody wants to view them, HB 806 and HB 1483. I also have the, and those are relating to fireworks. And this illegal fireworks task force, I have that, a copy of that if anybody wants to see the latest 2025 report. Some events, King's Chapel Windward Annual Easter Egg Hunt, April 18th at King's Chapel Windward. And the public is invited to that. Aloha Aina Earth Day event, April 19th at Windward Mall. And of course, as mentioned, Mayor Blangiardi's town hall meeting is at Castle High School on May 8th. And also, I took it upon myself to update you folks on, I have a list of all of the bills that you've been tracking. And some of them involved the environment. A bunch of them are still surviving. So I'll have that on the table for you. One of the interesting things was SB 405 regarding neighborhood board meetings. So you might want to look over to that because that is crossed over and it's headed to conference. As well as SB 416, which was the residential landlord tenant code bill. It did not cross over, but now we have a working group, and that is SCR 123 that is being proposed. So if you want to look over any of these items, it'll be right here on the table. We also have some correspondence from Hina Malka, just clarifying their position on the Cobb Adams Road Therapeutic Living Program. So if anybody wants more information about that, you can come and see me. So other than that, thank you so much. And I wish you all well for the weekend.
Thank you, Shauna. You have a representative from Well, do we have Representative Mike Lee or Representative there? Questions after? Okay, if there's no someone from Representative Mike Lee's office, we'll open up for question and answers for our state elected officials. Ms. Tomei, you have your hand up. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Adriel. Thank you. I just want to remind the board that many of the bills that were just listed are also in the spreadsheet that I sent you, and there's a link in that spreadsheet for every bill that is still alive from our list. And there's also a list of all the bills that have died. Again, if there's any specific bills for the future that anyone wants me to include in the tracking, please let me know. Thanks.
Donald, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. There was a bill that was listed on the agenda, SP 97 ST2 HD1. This is a speeding enforcement. I just want to know if that bill is still alive or is it going to committee, conference committee? That's very important about speeding. Can anybody from the legislature comment on that?
Yeah. Hi, Donald. It's going to conference committee,
Okay.
so I can go check on where it's at.
And can you, I hope we're not going to go to a cattle call and have all these bills.
I am opposed to a cattle call, and I have
I've been to one.
made it clear to the Senate leadership that if there is a cattle call on the last day, I will not attend. So all of the consumer protection bills will die.
Yes. Okay. That was a horrible experience when I did that a couple years ago. But the pay raises, I understand folks going to get pay raise. Well, what about the government employees? How's the budget going for their wages and whatnot?
I think there are, oh shoot, I would have to double check, but there are, I think 8 or 9 bargaining units that are potentially up. So we do have funding vehicles available in the event that the governor comes to an agreement with the different public sector unions who represent those bargaining units. And if those agreements are made before we adjourn the legislature, then they'll be funded accordingly. And if not, then those bills will carry over into next year, and then we will fund them according to the agreements that are concluded between the unions and the governor.
Thank you, Jared. I thank you for your staff, wonderful staff, this legislative session to answer my concerns, as well as Matayoshi, my rep. Always good to hear from you folks. Wonderful staff. I hope you can give them a raise or something. They deserve it. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for all who are tracking the legislation. I did have a question. There's one that I was interested in. It's the individual housing account. Right now, I guess legislation is you can put into up to 20,000 for individual housing account. But given our housing market right now, there was proposed legislation to up that to 100,000. So actually put down for a deposit. I myself benefit from the GI Bill when I purchased my home here in Kaneohe. Even though we have family here and have that benefit, but I think some kind of assistance for our residents should also be there. I don't know if that past crossover was still alive. I didn't see it on this list. Anyone? Anyways, well, thank you for the update on the legislation. Thank you for all your hard work last 2 weeks that you're putting it all together. Appreciate the update. Especially Senator Keakole for your hard work and working together on the consumer protections there. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Kim, did you have your hand up?
Yes, I did. I wanted to also point out that the email I sent includes a link to all the measures that have passed over on the second crossover. So those are potentially all still alive. There's 471 of them. So feel free to peruse that if you'd like.
Right, great. Thank you. Let's go on to next agenda item, number 7, community organizations. Are there any community organizations that'd like to present?
Yes.
Okay. Maria,
Chair.
go ahead.
Thank you, thank you. Excuse me, for KK CERT, just wanted to let you know that we've been accepted as a hub for our area, along with Key Project, and I believe Kailua is also involved in this in conjunction with Serene and Vibrant Hawaii and the Castle Foundation. And we have basically 2 projects underway, in the planning stages and underway. One is a student academies program, youth academies program that will be held during summer vacation, and working in conjunction with WCC on that and local high schools and also with KCC, looking to train young adults to be trainers for teens. So that's one project underway. And another one is working with Senior Center in Kaneohe, trying to help them establish a relatively efficient emergency communication system for their housing project. So just wanted to let you know about that. And we're also going to be, representatives are also going to be attending a Vibrant Hawaii conference, the second one, on the Big Island next month, I think. That's it.
Thank you, Marie. And you have the emergency preparedness fair?
Oh, yes. Thank you. Yes, which you're participating in, and we greatly appreciate that. So looking forward to hoping you get some good responses, good participation.
Yeah, Chair.
Okay, Donald, go ahead.
Yeah, thank Mary. Yeah, that May 3rd is from what, 10:30 to 2 at Windward Mall?
10 to 2. 10 to 2 at the mall, at Wynwood Mall.
Okay, and your committee for emergency response team meetings are every Tuesday of what month?
Thank you. Yes, every Tuesday over at the Kaneohe Senior Center, the second Tuesday of every month at 6:30.
6:30 to about 8:30 or 8 maybe.
About 8:30, right?
Yeah, I appreciate it. I attended a couple of meetings. If anybody wants to come out, please do. It's a wonderful time to hear what we have to say about preparedness, especially for those who are elderly, disabled, and who don't have any help. We need to organize. Famous quote, by failing to prepare, you're preparing to fail, by Benjamin Franklin. We need to prepare for whatever disaster might happen to our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Don. Thank you for your support. And as he mentioned, efforts for pushing with the help for the disabled as well as the kupuna. We testified for both the Senate resolution and House resolution to encourage HIEMA to work with local organizations. Though the resolutions only referred to kupuna, we did push for the disabled, which we think got sympathetic ears. So we'll see how that flies with the state. So thank you, Donald, for your support.
Right, thank you. Any other community organizations? Not, we'll go to board business. Item number 8. Who's that? Okay, yeah, we do have quorum. We have 11. We do have 11 present. So we can go towards the approval of the March meeting minutes that's been sent out to the board members. I believe there was a mention of Auntie Rocky being as a member present. Correct, if we can make that correction.
I think I did
Did
that
right.
correction, Chair. Yeah.
So if there are no corrections, is there a motion to approve?
Sakamoto approves the minutes as written.
Is there a second? Motion has been made and seconded. Any opposed? Okay, we have 10, not 11. So we do have quorum. If there are no objections, then the minutes are approved. All right. Let's move on to board committee reports. Any reports from attended meetings or committees that have met? Go ahead. Yeah.
Yes, earlier this month, the Department of Emergency Management for Honolulu City and County has introduced what they call HNL Alert. Spencer, are you able to bring that up on the screen? And we just want to make sure that we're supporting this. There will be a code there that you can scan. And if not, it is available for your information at hnlalert.gov. It's covering severe weather, emergency info, road closures, ocean conditions, water main breaks, etc. And the opportunity that has been seen here is that the city and county can now bring all of these into one area of reporting. Thank you, Spencer.
Anyone else? Donna, go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you, Chair. My report this morning from 10:30 to 12 p.m. we had a meeting with the Committee for Accessible Transportation. This is with the city's Department of Transportation Services. I am the chair of the committee, and we give direction to Director Roger Morton, ETS Director, Transportation Services. And discussion was about low subsidy for people for the HOLO card to get exemption from paying those high exorbitant tax fees for their rides on the bus, paratransit. So we had a good discussion. The only thing that was exempted from these people to apply was the mental people challenge. People with developmental disabilities are able to do it, but there was some discussion at previous town halls in the past, and then they resolved that Department of Transportation Services. Regarding the HOLO card, they're trying to do a plan to have smartphones, to have a wallet on your card to be tapped onto the bus and the skyline, and that's in the phase. I'm not too sure when. And then also to use credit cards on the payment plan for the bus and skyline. So you don't need a HOLO card. You can just take it out of your account. And that's the technology's advance. But pretty much the meeting went very well. There's a lot of questions about the performance report of Handyvan. A lot of increase in ridership. And hopefully they can make it much more efficient with getting new vehicles. So there's 18 new vehicles coming in sometime this year, which will have a side lift for the wheelchair walkers. And then they would have a stairway in the back of the paratransit Handyvan, making it easier to walk up the stairs compared to the ones they bought recently for 2024. So that's all I have to report. And our next CAT meeting or Committee Accessible Transportation will be in September 25th of this year. We only have 2 meetings per year, and hopefully we can get more people come out. Unfortunately, it's only for in-person, no Zoom or WebEx or Microsoft Teams because of the staffing shortage at Department of Transportation Services. But thank you.
Thank you, Donald. Any other board committee reports and assignments? If not, I would just remind the public that the committees list is on the agenda, and you can find that off of the NCO Neighborhood Commission Office website, as well as contacts for our board members. So if you're interested in, the board members are listed with the committees, but it's not limited to board members. Members of the public want to be a part of the committee, please go ahead and contact the members assigned and be a part of the committee, and we can work through that. So, Mr. O'Connor, right? You had asked about the environment. Which plan? There's planning committee, there's environmental committee, but either one could probably kind of look at the issue and put together something. Okay. If next item is announcements. And the announcement is next regular board meeting, Thursday, May 15th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. at Windward Community College, Hale'a'o Room, or using virtual login credentials listed at the top of page 1. These are posted on the Neighborhood Commission Office website, and as well as being sent out to residents who have signed up for the email notifications. as well as mailed out to individuals in the mail. Same location. That is right here, 6:30 next month, Thursday, May 15th, third Thursday of the month. Okay. And if there is no further business, we're at item number 11 for adjournment. And if there's no objections, we are adjourned at
7:55
7:55
PM.
PM.
Thank you.